12 and 1. Basically, what I spoke on last week. God won't let me get past it. I actually had something else planned to speak on this morning. Then I went somewhere else, and then I ended up here. So that's how it works sometimes. And God spoke to me this morning about it. So if it's not as much as it usually is, it's going to be what it is. But God won't let me get past this. Talked about Mary and Martha last week, and we talked about how Martha was so busy doing the ministry that she forgot what she was even there for. And as Mary poured out the oil on Jesus' feet, she came and sat at Jesus' feet. Well, this week I want to talk a little bit about everybody else that was in the room. So starting with verse 1, it says, Jesus 6 days before the Passover came to Bethany where Lazarus, which had been dead, whom he had raised from the dead. Next verse. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Next verse. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. I don't know what you came with this morning, but it is costly. What you brought this morning is costly. It should have cost you something. Everybody made some kind of effort this morning to be here. I thought about as Mark was teaching about the food. Everybody has money invested in that food. Everybody has money invested in that food. They bought it. They went and got it. They paid for it. They cooked it. They made the effort to bring it this morning. But you know what? If you put that food down there and you leave the lid on it, it ain't going to do nobody no good. What did she do? She opened it. She poured out what she brought. Verse 4. And sometimes this is what's going to happen when you do that. Then saith one of the disciples, Judas, Simon's son, which should betray him. Next verse. Why has not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? Lazarus didn't see the value of what she brought. Lazarus didn't appreciate what she brought. Lazarus thought it could be used for something else. He didn't realize the cost of it. It says in the next verse, I think it is, that he cared not. Look what it says. It says he cared. It wasn't that he cared for the poor. It was because he was a thief. He had an agenda, a hidden agenda. He was trying to make it sound like, well, this money, it could be used for the poor. It says he didn't care for the poor. He didn't care what it cost. All he was cared about was his part of it. So whatever you brought this morning, I encourage you to pour it out. Not to a church, not to a preacher, not to me, but pour it out to the feet of Jesus. Next verse. You say, well, I thought we're supposed to come and pray for each other and support each other. Next verse. Go to the 8th one, I think it is. For the poor always you have with me, but no, it's back on the 6th one. I don't know. It's somewhere. It says it fills the room. When it's poured out, it fills the room. Don't worry about praying for each other, praying, doing this and that. If you'll pour out on Jesus, it'll spill out on everybody. Everybody will feel it. Everybody will feel it. I thought about some people this morning that I ain't going to call their name, but I know they're struggling with doing what God's called them to do. And they think, well, I'm not appreciated. I'm not. And I want to encourage you, keep pouring it out. Because Jesus knows what it costs. Jesus knows what it costs you to not only have it, but to open it and to pour it out. And he appreciates you this morning. So keep doing what you're doing. Because that not only, whether this church knows it or not, you're needed. Whether this church appreciates it or not, you're needed. And Jesus, He will make sure that you are appreciated, right? So I think we should all stand this morning as Brother Brandon sings. You know, I almost talked about thankfulness because that seemed appropriate this morning. And God said, nope, go back to that. Go back to that. I mean, I battled it all morning. He said, tell them to pour out at Jesus' feet this morning. Don't worry about nothing else this morning. Everything else will work out.